Hello, hello, hello. It is December 31st. I hope you are all well. I definitely needed to get out today. And I just got back and I went to my car and I grabbed my phone and I grabbed my AirPods because I did not take them with. It's a bit cold, but it is so amazing out. Absolutely no clouds, pure sunshine. I haven't seen anybody on the trails the whole time, which is great. Got in a bit of a meditation, which was great. And I was just starting out my hike and I saw these two deer from a couple hundred yards away. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if those are the same two that I've seen over the summer, because they're bigger now, but they were frolicking in the same area. So I walked for a couple hundred yards, not paying attention. And there they were again, lapping around in the same space. And I'm like, what are they doing? They were gone and now they're back in the same space and I'm getting even closer. And then as I got even closer and they darted into the prairie and they were lost, I'm like, okay, they're hiding out, they're doing their thing. And then the one dude or the one sibling popped up again, if it's them, and was just staring at me from 100 yards away. So I think, yeah, they know me. And I think it's the ones that I know. They were really young this spring and this summer. So then I jumped onto a table and I was about 4 feet higher and I could see over the prairie and then they could see me. And we just hung out looking at each other. I blessed them, spoke some light, put some light towards them and carried on. I was walking easy trails today, mostly limestone, mostly grass. Went to sit in a couple areas, but they were in the shade, which is a little too cold. It's about 25 degrees, maybe 20 degrees with the wind. I don't know. But like I said, pure sun. But I didn't want to sit in the shade. I needed to sit in the sun. So I find a different spot. And when I was hiking, there were like 15 cranes in the air. And they were all flying in a V formation. And then they hooked up with like another 70 cranes. And like the 80 or 90 or easily 100, whatever, they were all flying around in a circle and, doing their motifs or whatever. And they were black and they were silver and they were reflecting the sun. And at one point they were in front of the sun completely. And I couldn't see them at all. I could just hear them. And like I said, I didn't have my phone, so I would not have tried to video it or photograph it, but it was just beautiful. And then as I was walking on this trail looking for a place to sit and meditate in the sun, I saw what had to be a coyote, a very large coyote, or possibly a very large fox. But based on the ears and the tail and what I saw for a split second through the forest, I'm guessing it was a rather large coyote. And I don't know that they're normally out this time of day, probably around 1 o'clock, 12:30 Central Standard Time. But, it was big and I was like, that's cool. And I'm like, it's, definitely not a wolf, but maybe a coyote, maybe a massive fox. I don't know. And then, of course, once I found a place to sit, it was just so peaceful and so relaxing and so beautiful. And I wasn't cold at all. And I was backed up to a tree, kind of like I am now, but a much smaller tree. And I just kept hearing the wood knocks and, what were the woodpeckers and possibly deer, because I kept hearing heavy breathing every time I was in my meditation. And I kept thinking people were coming up on the trail from one side or the other, and there was nothing there. But I kept hearing crunching and, like wood hitting wood. And I'm like, are these bucks back here? But, I can't turn around. I can't see. And I was on a really weird hill that ditches into the forest. So I was like, it's just going to be what it's going to be. And I'm just doing my thing. And then eventually got up and continued my hike. And a massive tree, had fallen into the trail, the main trail. It was like a 4-story tree, and it broke from like 2 stories up and just dumped on the trail and blew up. And, that was an interesting sight. And then as I continued to walk, I saw 2 more deer in the distance, just staring at me way off into the hills in the forest. And once again, I thought it was those siblings from earlier, because it's around the space and place where I've seen them in the past. And sure enough, it was not. It was 2 much larger bucks, but they were younger bucks. But they both had their, antlers, and they were both like 2 and 3 point, bucks that were just short antlers. So they're just finding their groove, probably learning. And then, You know, I just came back, and like I said, I got to my car, grabbed my phone, grabbed my AirPods, going to do this quick little video. It's been a while. I hope everybody had a blessed holiday and is returning home safely or is home safely. I hope you're enjoying the sun, because we haven't seen a whole lot of it here in the Midwest. I know it was out yesterday, but I was watching college football all day, you know, just relaxing. We're in December now all of a sudden, and you know, we've got 31 days left in this year, and then the new year is approaching. Obviously, you know, Christmas and other holidays, depending on what you celebrate. So I just wanted to say, you know, what an amazing day to be out. I'm sitting here absorbing and soaking up the sun right now, and it is still just amazing and beautiful and so needed for me, for the grounding, the cleansing, the clearing, the releasing, and then just the reconnecting, and then pulling in that light and pulling in that energy. So I just wanted to say, I hope you are all well. I hope you've all had a blessed holiday. I hope you maintain your peace, you know, and composure and sanity into the next holiday and the next round of gatherings, let alone the new year. And what an amazing hike today without my phone, and, you know, just being reconnected and seeing all the sights that I saw today, and even more that I'm probably forgetting, you know. So peace, love, and light to all of you. I hope you are all well. And you know, I hope you're all off to a great start in the new month. All the best. Bye-bye.